Credit Suisse on a slippery slope. Panic at the disco on the ASX. And the taxman now targeting influencers. Welcome to Trading Up, a collaboration by the West Australian and Grapher. I'm Sarah Hughan. This episode is brought to you by Stake, Australia's most recommended broker. First, Silicon Valley Bank. That was a bank pretty much nobody had ever heard of before last week. And now Credit Suisse. Well, as one of Europe's biggest banks, Credit Suisse is causing panic in global financial markets. The Swiss central bank has taken decisive action, with a lifeline of just over $80 billion. But it wasn't enough to stem the sea of red in the market. More than $30 billion was wiped off the ASX today as investors ran for the exit. The ASX closed below 7,000 points today, which means the market has lost almost 5% of its value since the beginning of the week. The worst performers on the market today were the energy stocks after the oil price tanked. Woodside, Santos and Worley all slumped today. Despite all the doom and gloom on the markets, the jobs numbers were good. The unemployment rate is now lower than it was before the pandemic. There's flip side to the strong jobs numbers. It shortens the odds for an April interest rate rise. So yes, you have a job, but you're probably going to pay more on your mortgage. Despite most of the market in the red today, there were a couple of rocket ships. Shares of dynamic metals surged after hitting thick, high-grade nickel at its Widgie-Mooltha project, which is at a WA ghost town near Kalgoorlie. And just up the road in the eastern goldfields, shares of Saturn Metals also spiked after it announced it's found thick high-grade intercepts at its Apollo Hill gold project. And how's this for an idea? Incanex Healthcare today announced plans to open multiple psychedelic-assisted psychotherapy clinics in Australia and overseas. It's planning its first clinic in Melbourne and says it believes the market will mature into a multi-billion-dollar opportunity. What are psychedelic drugs? Think MDMA, mushrooms, cannabis, but obviously of the pharmaceutical variety. And the Australian Tax Office is warning influencers they have to pay tax on the stuff they get for free and then go on to sell for money.
Hey man, I'm just going to give you a shout out in exchange for this keyboard. All goods?
No.
The rules are, if you get stuff for free and then you sell it, you need to pay tax on the earnings. And if it's over 75k, you also need to pay GST. It makes sense. Corporations have a little thing called fringe benefits tax, which basically means there's no such thing as a free lunch. You can find more business news content on thewest.com.au. Or to see all the data and insights behind this video, check out grapher.com. Thanks for joining me on this episode of Trading Up. I'm Sarah Hughan. See you next time.